Hello and welcome. This is Cricbuzz Live midweek madness. That's how I like to sell it. The youth call it hump day because it's right in the middle. And we call it party day because every day is a party day when you got cricket going on. I'm Gaurav Kapur. I've got with me Michael Vaughan all the way from the UK. Hello, Mr. Vaughan. That's thunderous applause. I like the outfit. I like the outfit. I like it a lot. No, just relax. It doesn't mean you start taking it off. What's going on with you? You've been spending time in the wrong parts of town. Yeah, rough neighborhoods. Yeah, keep it on. We also have Mr. Harsha Bhogle, who is quarantined in an undisclosed location, so we cannot tell you where he is. Thunderous applause.
He's got the same painting behind him that he had 2 months ago.
I tell you something, I have a feeling you just carry that painting with you and you change location every day. It's very easy to do. I tell you, there's a good game happening today because there's two young keeper-batter captains on each side. There is Rajasthan, who's playing Delhi. We'll also have a look at the points table to tell you what exactly is going on because things are rough, man. Things are rough for one of the teams. Things are looking okay, for Rajasthan. They're looking, kind of okay for Rajasthan. They're not looking okay for Delhi at all, actually. They're looking fairly rough for Delhi because if Delhi loses this game, Michael, it's bye-bye birdie, bye-bye-bye.
Well, Delhi is this inconsistency. They just can't manage to get a few wins on the trot. They just not managed to get the combinations playing well enough. Rishabh as the captain, he's yet to really fire with the bat in hand. He's got a few tactics wrong. So it's a big game for Rishabh and Delhi and Ricky Ponting. To lose, they want to get to 16 as quick as possible to make sure that they're in those eliminations. And yes, they've got 3 games to go. They probably only need to win 1 to make it into the final stages. But you wouldn't want to leave it till the end. So they'd want to get the job done today.
True. Which team do you want to be today, Harsha? Because for Delhi, the problem is that they've lost key personnel at key times, and they've not been able to string wins together. So, which means you want to just win all of these, but you never know. Sometimes your back's to the wall, and the best comes out of you. Or there's Rajasthan, who you're looking at that team, and you're saying the way they were going a couple of weeks ago, they probably should have had a queue against their name by now.
Yeah. But they came back. They won their last game. So they broke a 2-game losing streak. So they came back. But that points table is now interesting because they're starting to get these clusters and everybody else is looking at your result to see what can happen. Now, Rajasthan win today. They go to 16. They go beyond reach of Delhi. They go beyond reach of Kolkata and, of course, Chennai and Mumbai. So that's 4 teams that cannot catch up with them. And then Bangalore wins 1 of 2, which they should. Then that sort of creates an opening at 16. But look at Bangalore. If Delhi lose today, then that just eases Bangalore's chance for qualification.
Yeah.
But if Rajasthan lose today, Delhi are starting to think maybe we can leapfrog them, going to 3rd place, maybe going to 2nd. So they're actually pretty well placed, Bangalore. Either way, there's something positive about them. But Rajasthan desperately want to win this. And they'll miss Hetmeyer. There's no doubt they'll miss Hetmeyer today. But I'm no pitch expert, but I think they won't mind batting first. They've done well batting first. They put up a score. Delhi under pressure. If they have to chase 160, 170, then it may not be such a bad thing to bat first. I mean, Rishabh said it's dry, in which case you bat first. But he also said there might be dew later on. So far, it's not affected the games very much. So far, it's been bat first and win in the last few games, isn't it?
Yeah, I was a little confused that Rishabh said that. In fact, he jumped at it so quickly. I thought maybe he hadn't heard the question because, in the last few games, Michael, teams batting first are winning. Rajasthan has just loved batting first anyway. So I was a little confused that Delhi wanted to chase today.
Yeah, and when you're a captain under a bit of pressure, you've got to get your decisions right. In the last game against Chennai, they put them for over 200 and they were hammered in the game. So it's a big decision. I'm a little bit old school, but the stats over the last few games has favoured the team batting first. They'll be desperate for dew. Rishabh will be just hoping that dew comes in later on, and it makes. He wouldn't want to be captaining tonight and having put the opposition in and then lose again like he did in the last game on the back of these last 6 wins with the team batting first. So As a captain, you have to go with your gut. You have to go with what you feel is right for that occasion, for tonight. He feels by bowling first, he feels he's got more of a chance of winning. But it's a big gamble to give Rajasthan, who we know like to bat first, get runs on the ball and throw the ball to those two world-class spinners. So it's a big gamble by Rishabh Pant. It has to pay off.
Yeah. As we saw on the points table, it has to pay off. They have no choice, really. And Bangalore's looking at this game and saying, we don't care. Heads we win, tails you lose, because either ways, we still have our job cut out in front of us. But I like the fact that there's a little, in a way, if you're looking at it, no matter which team's fan you are, and no matter who team might not even be playing today, you're always wanting the team that's lower on the points table to just go up so that 4 don't run away. But it's looking more and more that 4 may run away because, it seems to be going in Rajasthan's favor right now. But Delhi, well, they still don't have... Sorry, Harsha.
No, if you look at a worst-case scenario from an IPL perspective, RR win today, RCB win their next game. You've got teams on 16. I think RCB are playing Punjab, I think. So that means Punjab can't get to 16. And it almost sorts itself out. So you actually, what you're saying from a tournament perspective, if you want to keep it alive till the end, you actually want these lower teams to win. Just looking since we talked about the pitch and batting first, the last 2 games on this surface have been sort of 150 kind of games.
True.
So I think that's what Swanee said in his pitch report. If you bat first and make 155, 160, you got a very good chance of winning it. Yeah. So let's see. They've been one chasing. They've been 150 games.
But Josh Butler's going to look at that and go, 150? You're kidding. What is that? Amateur hour? Don't mess around with me with these 150. Don't come at me with these 150s. Sanju Samson will probably say the same as well. But for the Delhi team, let's have a look at who is in the Delhi team. There's a couple of changes that have been made. There's still no Prithvi Shaw. So obviously we don't have Prithvi Shaw still available. So KS Bharat will be opening with David Warner. The rest of the team looks same down with Mitchell Marsh and Rishabh Pant, David Warner, of course, Robin Powell. So he's been in good form. You have Akshar Patel. Now here's the interesting bit. There was Lalit Yadav left out, right? And Ripple was playing. Ripple's been left out and Lalit has come. I don't know what wrong Ripple did or how Lalit has come back after just a couple of games. And also Khalid.
I think they've read it one way, Gaurav.
Yeah, sorry. Just to finish, there's also Khalid and he's out and Chetan Sakaria comes in. Sorry, Harsha.
Yeah. No, go on. I think they've read it one way. I think they've read it as a surface where the ball will grip, turn, hold a little bit. That's my reading. Because Ripple Patel, little medium pace, big hitter. They want the off spinner back in. There's a few left-handers in there with Yashasvi and Devdutt Padikkal. So a couple of left-handers. Also Sakaria, who will take pace off rather than Khalil, who's pace on. Yeah. So I wonder whether they have picked a side to for those conditions. Sorry, I got taken aback a little bit. The door was ringing and I suddenly saw somebody in my room. So.
Is there someone in your room?
No, it's just someone come to put the laundry in. So they probably thought I'm not in.
Is it Mohammad Salah? I don't know. Is it?
No, but Harry Kane's outside. Harry Kane's outside your door.
All right, great. I'll just send you the paperwork, if you could just get him to sign it real quick while he's there. But yes, I think for Delhi, if that's how they're reading the surface, but Michael, they'll need Lalit to do better with the ball than he's done so far. It's great that he can bowl, but he also has to do it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's intriguing. We're talking about the selection of the sides, and it's about spin, it's about cutters, and yet they've still decided to bowl first. You would think the pitch may deteriorate, and it might be harder in the second innings of the game, so you get runs on the. Clearly, has seen something, and maybe they practiced last night, and they saw that Dew came in at a certain time, and it gives them confidence that it will change later on. He'll be hoping that it happens because he wouldn't want that Dew not to arrive. Yeah. Because pitches like this, talking about these kind of selections, it's all about this and this and this. You want to get first use of a pitch that's going to deteriorate later.
Michael, Rishabh's given you a few head-scratching moments tactically this season, hasn't he? He's given you a few, hasn't he?
I think he's been miles off. I'm just being honest. I think he's allowed the opposition into games. I think he's allowed certain moments in the games where he's not been switched on. In T20 cricket, if you're not on it for that 2 or 3 overs and the momentum goes all the way to the opposition, it's very, very difficult then to drag it back. And I think on 2 or 3 games I've seen this year with his captaincy, he's either switched off or not realised the moment, and it's really affected his team. So he has to get it right tonight.
Yeah, listen, it's coming from a very experienced captain. You notice these things. I know they're intangibles, right? But Harsha, let's focus on the tangibles. Is what we can see. Is Rishabh with the bat, his scores, his shapes, right? Just sometimes it just feels like he wants to hit the ball out of the zip code and just seems to lose his shape. We've, in fact, going to ask Cricbuzz live question about that, because this is not the Rishabh we're used to. So, Sudeep is asking if he is weighed down by captaincy. Not only is he making tactical errors on the field, which Michael just spoke about, but his batting has suffered as well. Did he get captaincy too early in his career?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? What is too early? They clearly took a call, Delhi. They clearly took a call saying Rishabh over Shreyas. Shreyas had done a really good job for them 2 years ago. Yeah. And then he got out injured. They gave it to Rishabh. As soon as Shreyas came back, they said, thank you, Shreyas, but we've made up our mind that Rishabh is going to be the next captain. In a way, they were saying goodbye to Shreyas. So they made up their mind very quickly. I don't know if that's a management decision, because we all have a lot of respect for Ricky Ponting, and he's probably seen something. I don't know. But I get the feeling purely from body language that he's a little weighed down.
Yeah.
And while his numbers are not that bad, he's not played an innings, a sort of tournament-defining innings.
Yeah.
So if you look at some of those numbers, the strike rates. Yeah.
11 games.
The strike rates are not bad. 143, 137. The strike rates are not bad, but he hasn't played West Pant. 137. That's as captain. Even this year, his strike rate isn't terrible by his standards, because he sets them pretty high. He's such a good player, but he's not gone out and said, guys, this is my game.
Yeah.
Right? Watch out. I'm taking this game away, which he can do.
Yeah, there is. You see it, right, Michael, because the IPL has been won by captains who go out, and when they go out, you get there's this body language which says, you're in my house, right? MS, Rohit, Gautam Gambhir, even with 2. This is, you're in my house, right? It's that you need that kind of, and that doesn't mean an aggressive body language, because all these 3 captains are not those people who just they're pumping their fists. Or with Dhoni, you don't even know what he's thinking 9 times out of 10. But there is that air of, I know what I'm doing. I'm running the ship. This is my gig. You need that as a captain if you have to succeed in this tournament, because so many eyes, so much pressure.
Michael did that on his first day as captain, or second day as captain, or so the story goes with Nasser.
This is my house.
I think if we're fair to all the captains this year, Faf for me is the standout. I think they've all struggled. It's been a year where I don't think there's been that many of the captains that have really stepped to the plate. I have to say, I think bubble life is leading a team in these kind of bubble times. I think it's difficult. Rishabh Pant is an infant as a captain, and what he has to do is learn from what he's done this year. He has to understand that mistakes happen, and they are made, and he's made a few. But ultimately, it's about growing, about improving. As you do as a player. I always look at captains and think, what would the opposition rather have? Would they rather have Rishabh being the captain behind the stumps, coming out as a batter with a bit more responsibility? Or would they prefer to play against a Rishabh Pant style player who doesn't have the captaincy? And I think the opposition would prefer to play as the non-captain. As the captain, and not as the non-captain. Because as a non-captain, you do have responsibilities because he's a senior pro and a world beater, but you don't have that weight, that weight that you carry as a leader, as a captain, and you do, or you're expected to play with a bit more responsibility. And I think Rishabh's a better player I think he's more dangerous when he plays in that fashion. But he's young and he's learning. Ricky Ponting, as Harsha said, he's not a mug, Ricky. He sees people, he sees personalities. And he wouldn't have given Rishabh the job if he didn't feel he was ultimately the right person for the job. But he has got some learning to do. But somehow in his mind, and he's got to forget he's the captain. He's not the captain when he bats. He's Rishabh Pant, the flamboyant player. And if he can get that mindset and that mentality, he can still become very, very dangerous with the batting hand as a captain.
But here's the thing, with all the new captains, his opposite number today Sanju Samson seems to be wearing the captaincy so lightly. If you look at his batting numbers, Harsha, he's wearing his captaincy really lightly. In fact, out of all the captains we saw, and there's been a bunch of new captains, there's a majority of new captains than remaining captains, than incumbents in this tournament. And you see, there you go with Sanju Samson. You go, just fine. He's like looking around saying, what's the fuss about? It's fine. No problem. I'll get this done.
36.6 is a very decent batting average. I know sometimes when you bat at 3, you can take it up, but over a tournament, if you're averaging 36 in 14 innings, you've got 360 plus 140. You're making about 500 runs. Yeah. If you're making 500 runs at around 140, you're doing seriously well, whatever number you're batting at. So if he's headed there, the only thing I will say with Sanju sometimes is he seems to have the game at his feet as the lord of all his surveys. And then suddenly one ball will go up and you'd say, but Sanju, where did that come from? But sometimes you tend to get carried away and say, why? But you look over a period of time and his numbers are pretty good. He's been the best number 3 in the IPL for the last 3 years.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. And it's and that's the thing, right? Sometimes it just becomes the narrative about a person overtakes the performances, right? You see the performances has changed, the narrative stays the same, the person has changed. And I think with Sanju Samson, more and more that you're looking at, you're saying, all right, I think he's changed. I think he's not, what was it? I think Joy used to call it the Cinderella complex. He said he's ruling the party and suddenly at 12 he needs to run, right? So I don't think that's happening as much with Sanju right now. But also look at what he has with him. He's got a Jos Buttler who's been in roaring form, and he's got the bowling attack. That's what he's got this season. Yeah. He has just got an amazing bowling attack. And Harsha, you were talking about Kuldeep Sen last night and how much he has impressed you amongst all the young bowlers. Perhaps he's right up there from among all the young talent that's been on show here. And that's not bad considering you have Prasidh Krishna, Trent Bolt, and then Chahal and Ashwin. So, Sanju's going like, thank you so much, auction buyers. You've put together a really good bowling attack for me.
The only thing with Kuldeep Sen is far too early in his career, he's become this death bowler.
Yeah.
And because Prasidh is not great at the back and Trent Bolt is not great at the back, he's had to become the death bowler very early. So that's the only thing. Otherwise, that's a fantastic bowling lineup. Also, don't forget, he's got people like Ashwin and Chahal. You don't need to lead those players very much. Yeah. You don't have to captain an Ashwin. You don't have to captain a Chahal. You don't have to captain a Trent Bolt because they've been around for so long. They know exactly what to do. So you don't have to captain a Jos Buttler. You give Shimron Hetmeyer a role and he's fine. I think Rassi van der Dusen's a very fine player. It's just that I think there was a little bit my first IPL, and IPL was something he always wanted to. I hope if those blues have gone, he's a mighty fine player. Rassi, we've seen like with Aiden Markram, Rassi, if he gets going, he's a really good player. So if he can come in today, then it's still a serious side. Yeah.
He's gonna get a game or two for sure because Shimron Hetmeyer became a father today. So congratulations to him on his firstborn. So he's in Guyana, and as we know, Guyana's sort of more than a taxi ride away from a
little further than Bandra.
Yeah, just a little further. So it might take him a couple of games to come back. So Rassi van der Dusen we spoke last night about how Jimmy Neesham could get a chance and Riyan Parag could go up. But Sanju doesn't need the bowling at all. So might as well play a proper bat at number 5. And that's what he's going to do. But Jos Buttler has just been fabulous. I don't want to start Michael Vaughan on Jos Buttler because then we could be here for another 45 minutes. So I'm just going to ask him if he has ever done what Rajasthan has kind of very interestingly done. They've had Yashasvi Jaiswal and Devdutt Padikkal, right? 2 youngsters, left-handed openers. And when they had them, one was retained, one was bought at the auction. And I remember at the auction, Harsha, when we were doing the show here, we kept saying, what's going on? Why are Rajasthan picking up so many openers? Because Sanju's open, Jos will obviously open. Will it be Yashasvi? Will it be DDP? What they've done this tournament, Michael, is it seems like they've got a little internal race going on between the two of them of who's getting to bat on the top. Have you ever done that as a captain? Kind of subliminally made 2 people go, this could be your position. No, this guy's a little. Have 2 guys fight for it, brings out the best in them.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes in team sport, when you're not sure, you want to bring a bit of competition to a place in your side. And that looks to me like Rajasthan have done. I think of all the sides, I know the 2 new sides did very well in the auction, but I think Rajasthan had a terrific auction, just bringing in the right players. Mentioned the bowling attack, but bringing these kind of fights, if you like, for places. Players know that if they don't deliver, there's someone else that can deliver in your shoes. So, I like what they've done. I mean, Rajasthan, you take Butler away and they're just okay. I mean, Butler plays, you just know that they're very, very difficult to beat. And it's always the case is can they, and they have done recently, can they win when Josh doesn't have a night out? And that's always going to be the challenge when it goes to the back end of the tournament. If they make those eliminations and Josh gets a low score, can that middle order find enough runs to get the opposition under pressure? But they've been impressive. Even when they've been beaten, they've not really been hammered. They're a team that has competed in most of the games. They've won, obviously, a lot of them. But even when they've lost, I've always felt they've competed, which is a good sign for Rajasthan.
There's also
one thing about those two, though.
Yes.
No, I think I can see why they want Yashasvi at the top, because Butler sets himself up to play deep. It's hardly ever that Butler will go boom, boom and get out 30 of 12 balls. He sets himself up to bat deep and win the game. So there are days when he'll be run a ball for the first 15 balls, the odd day. And Yashasvi Jaiswal will go for it. So I think Yashasvi is better suited to allow Butler to play his game. But what do you do with Padikkal? I mean, the other day he was scoring under run a ball. As it turned out, Hetmeyer went and finished the game for them. But he was going at under run a ball. Unless he's been told that that's how you play. At number 4, he's a bit fish out of water. So he'll have to go and, what's the expression? Express himself up front early.
Stop it.
And follow the process and express himself.
Execute the process. Get some momentum. Get some momentum. Do that. You saw Kumar Sangakkara after the game because he was obviously complimenting Joss and Yashasvi, and I think it was that game. I saw one video online where he said, and DDP, you really anchored the innings really well, right? It's like when you're kind of struggling for a compliment if you have to say that to somebody in a T20 game. It's like saying you've got really kind eyes, because I can't comment on anything else. It's one of those. But where does he bat? It is a problem. Which position does he bat? What is his approach then? What does he get done there? But Yashasvi, he's an exciting talent, so it's good to see him kind of be unleashed over there. All right. I want to also talk about the competition that's happening between two friends. They're on the opposite side here, but they're best buddies. They're fighting for the purple cap right now. There's Yuzi Chahal. There's Kuldeep Yadav, who has just been potential unlocked, like a couple level unlocked. However, obviously, there's Vanendu Hasaranga, who's actually crept up to Chahal, but Kuldeep's there and thereabouts. He's one game away from probably coming right up there. But what I want to highlight is how these two, even though at a lot of times they were probably fighting for one position in the team, they were a team for very long together as Kulsha. Now they're playing in different teams in this tournament. But it's about Kuldeep's downtime. And Harsha, I love this story. I'm a sucker for these stories. About Kuldeep talking about how Chahal was like a big brother to him through his bad time, always had an arm around his shoulder, encouraged him, stood by him. And he says, in my heart, I want him to go and win the purple cap because he's been bowling exceptionally well over the 4 years. I mean, come on. I love it. I'm a sucker for this.
I was doing that presentation when he said that. He said, in my darkest times, he was there for me all the time. He was constantly calling me. And so we spoke to Chahal and he said, I know what it is to be down. And so I kept calling him. And they're literally, they're like brothers. The difference is Chahal is still bowling really well. Kuldeep has just sort of, the curve was going like this. It's just gone a little bit like this. So it'll be interesting today if it can just start to look up. But it's been a revelation to see how Kuldeep has bowled this year. It's been fantastic. I mean, you got one guy going this way, one guy going this way, and you say, wow, it's actually forced Mumbai to say, okay, we'll get one of our own as well.
They're trying. Michael, I just want to get your opinion on this. Has it happened for you whenever you had kind of a downtime? Was there ever a senior player who reached out to you and said, talk to me?
There's been many. Graham Thorpe, who I'm praying for at the minute, is in hospital, not very well. He was a rock to many of us younger players when we first came into the England side, and there's been many others. But you need someone near you when you're playing, under the pressure zone of international cricket, franchise cricket now, that just understands the pressures that you're under. And not every day is going to go with you. It's not always going to be that you're going to have great days when you're young players. So you do need those fatherly figures around you just to explain that You know, it's normal. It's normal that you have the odd bad game, or you don't bowl well all the time, or a good player will get you as a bowler. They're going to get you, or as a batter, you're going to get a good ball, or you're going to get a little bit intimidated at times. That is absolutely normal in the game. So the more you can have these relationships, the better you can be to come through them. And all the senior pros will be saying, and generally, is, come on, you're a good player, believe in yourself, but it sometimes takes a little bit of time. It's not always going to happen from ball one, and you just need that little bit of patience. These young kids, they want it here and now, straight away. They want to be doing everything, fifers, hundreds, and every occasion. If they get a low score on, it's the end of the world. I'm afraid it's just the game. You've got to accept it.
Yeah, it's life. It's life. What goes around comes around. All right, let's have a look at the.
Why are you looking behind? Are you looking for some life to come back to you from somewhere?
I thought there was. I thought somebody had walked into the house again. We all have people walking into our rooms and our houses today. I don't know what's going on. It's really weird. Let's have a look at a joy factor question while I go investigate the wandering spirits in my room.
It's your size of question.
This is fine. This is in my wheelhouse. Which player's omission caused a furore in South Africa's first test after they returned to international cricket? Well,
Joy's thrown a little full toss.
Yeah.
Full toss and leg stump with nobody at mid-wicket.
He's really phoned this one in, hasn't he?
Well, what's the question?
Joy?
It usually comes up on my screen. Where is it?
You lost it on your screen. What? Did you lose it? Show it again. We'll take it again. Okay, here it is. Come on.
Question.
There you go. Read it slowly for you, Michael, should I?
Which player's omission caused first? Oh. Harsha will have that.
No, the clue is that he turned. Okay, I mean, by now a lot of you would have got anyway. The clue is he turned up many years later, slightly overweight, to play for a different country.
Yeah, think about it. All right, send in your answers. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live, hashtag Joy Factor, and send your answers in real quick. We have one last piece of business, which is that Rajasthan is batting first. Steve Patil. It's going to be a belter. It's going to be a lot of runs. So come on, Harsha, what's your guess?
I want a good game, so I'm going 158.
Oh, no, it's going to be a belter. Go up. Because I'm going to take 155. So why don't you go up?
So take 155.
Yeah, that's fine. 158. Michael?
148.
Oh, geez, you're really lowballing it. Come on, it's going to be more than that. So I'll say 168. Right? 148, 158, 168. I think we're going to be wrong. I think it's going to be more. I'm changing it to 173. Done. And that's it. It's closed now. The exchanges are closed. No more bets to be taken. Thank you very much. We're going to see you at the end of the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox. That's when we come back with the little update of how Rajasthan's batting effort is going. Big thank you to Michael Vaughan and Harsha Bhogle. Thank you so much. All three of us are now going to go investigate who's in our room because we've all had intruders.
Michael's living in his mansion. He won't even know how many people are coming and going.
You don't realize that all I have in my house is a bar. That's it.
He lives in it. It's not a bad gig, man. I'm telling you, it's not a bad gig. If you want to start decorating your house, that's a good room to start with. All right. We're going to see you at the end of the batting effort on Cricbuzz Live. Even if one of us three is not there, call the police because obviously the intruders got the better of us. All right. We're going to leave now.
Don't go there again. Don't go there again. Don't go there about something happening live. I've done that one. No.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Cut.